best there ever be. Yes, I'm blessed indeed, so don't test me, please. I am Hercules, I unleash the beast.
Got this gorgeous Italian leather bag from Marshall's. It was such a deal.
And welcome to Humphrey Coliseum here on this Thursday night. It's the Battle of the Bulldogs, Mississippi State and Georgia in women's basketball. Georgia coming off a win against Missouri. Back-to-back wins for the Georgia Dogs. Mississippi State trying to regroup after losing by 15 on the road in Oxford at Ole Miss this past Sunday. And alongside Charlie Winfield, I'm Bart Gregory, and welcome to Starkville. And when you look around the SEC and how everything is going here early in the season, you see Mississippi State and Georgia on the left side of the column. Top half of the league right now. Georgia at 3-2, Mississippi State at 2-2. And so Charlie Winfield, this is a big matchup here on the home floor for State. Jenna Stady has been so good in the low post for Georgia this season. And the key for State tonight, you would think, is how do you stop Jenna Stady?
Well, it's really hard to do. Stady is basically an automatic double-double every time she takes the floor. One of the top 2 or 3 post players in the Southeastern Conference. She can do it all. She can attack. She does a great job boxing out for rebounds and getting second chance points. And when you put her on the free throw line, she's deadly there as well.
Now, the thing about Mississippi State, they have been shorthanded over the last month. But Rakia Jackson came back, played in the game on Sunday, and it was good for Mississippi State to get Rakia Jackson back. 22 points, hit 3 threes in that matchup against Ole Miss.
Yeah, Bulldogs have just been really shorthanded the past few times out. 8 players, then 7 available the last 3 times they played. Getting Rakia Jackson back, 21 points a game. A big boost for Mississippi State. Now the key tonight, they need her to get her points, but they need her to be efficient when she does it.
And so it's Mississippi State and Georgia here on this Thursday night. These two teams opened up SEC play last year, and State won 69-62. When you look at the overall series, Georgia leads at 28-21 as this is the 50th meeting all time between Mississippi State and Georgia. So underway, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Kick back, relax, and enjoy an early evening of women's basketball in the SEC. Georgia quickly in the offensive end and trying to get it to Stady down in the low post, and the Bulldogs come up with a steal.
Yeah, you saw Carter that time. Doesn't have the size to match up, but has some quickness, able to get around Stady and force the turnover.
Today, Carter back in the lineup for State. Now, Jerkayla Jordan going to take the deep 3, and so both teams unsuccessful their first offensive trips down the floor. Today, Carter did not play the game on Sunday against Ole Miss, but back in the lineup tonight. And in that game, Charlie, State fell behind early against Ole Miss, kind of had a flurry late to get it back to respectability a little bit, but Ole Miss winning for the first time in 14 matchups between State and Ole Miss. And there's Jenna Stady, got to feed the low post, and that's one thing to watch tonight is how low can she get the entry feed.
Give credit to Jordan Isaacs as well. She got the offensive rebound and kept that possession alive for Georgia.
See the Bulldogs starting 5, Anastasia Hayes, Maya Taylor, longtime player here at Mississippi State, Maya Taylor, Jerkayla Jordan, Rakia Jackson. There's a driving layup, Anastasia Hayes, transfer from Middle Tennessee, and State is on the board.
Yeah, Anastasia Hayes has shown the ability to put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, and that time just use her quickness to get past Stady.
Barker gets the lane and banks it in from straight away. And Georgia back-to-back trips with buckets. Very close to the rim. High percentage shots the last 2 trips down the floor for the Georgia Dogs.
And look back over the past 8 games. Barker's really been picking it up, shooting. It's going to be easy if she gets a lot of looks from there.
Rakia Jackson tried the reverse layup. Today Carter got it. Nice step through with the left hand and ties it at 4.
Well, when you're undersized, you have to be technically sound, and we saw that from Carter.
Look at Stady run the floor, but she traveled with it. State's got a couple players down. Jerkayla Jordan underneath. What a nice catch by Stady against the double team. And Jerkayla Jordan went down, says she's okay, and is going to stay in the game. Talk about Jenna Stady. Was a National Player of the Week back in late December. Of course, the high water mark for Georgia this season has been a win on the road at then number 2 NC State. And in that game, she had 21 points and 11 rebounds.
Well, the thing that she's given Georgia all season long is consistency. You can always count on her for between 17 and about 25 a game.
Here's Rakia Jackson, her first shot, and got it from the outside, and State has a 7-4 lead.
Now, Bulldogs are going to give up a lot in the post here tonight. They need to be able to get hot from outside. Rakia Jackson could be a big part of that. The Mississippi State Bulldogs, that is.
And the jumper from the right wing is off the mark from Q Morrison, her first shot of the night. Georgia going to reset on the offensive end. Here's Barker again. Kick out, 3 on the way, and Morrison misses the shot, but fouled at 3-point range by Maya Taylor. And Q Morrison will go to the line and shoot 3. And Charlie, so many times in today's game, there are so many teams that rely on one player. The thing about Georgia this year, they've got that inside-outside matchup. You've got Stady on the inside, and now you see Q Morrison kind of come to the free throw line. She had 26 points against LSU a couple of weeks ago.
Well, Q Morrison, for all the talk about Stady, and it's all deserved, Q Morrison, one of the best players in the league in her own right, and where she's really good at the free throw line, almost 90%. In fact, with that make, will go over 90% for the year.
And she ties it with 3 made free throws, and we're tied at 7, the first points of the night for Q Morrison.
Keep an eye on Morrison on the defensive end as well. She's twice been on the all-defensive team in the SEC.
Guarding Anastasia Hayes right now. Rakia Jackson a step inside the 3-point line. And that's a matchup to watch all night tonight. Anastasia Hayes and Q Morrison. Anastasia Hayes wearing the number 0. They're at the top of the key right now. Taken away by Jerkayla Jordan. Running 1-on-2. Nice defense by Barker. And a jump ball call. Possession arrow belongs to Mississippi State. Both teams getting after it on the loose ball, but what a great job by Barker to get back in defensive transition to come up with a steal.
Well, she did. She got back after turning it over and didn't panic, didn't have a frustration foul, and then Morrison getting back as well. And Morrison kind of really helped. You see 2 players playing with a lot of effort right here. You see Barker get back, deny the path to the goal, and Morrison detract it from the backside.
Here's Rakia Jackson. Spinning shot. And Stady comes up with a defensive rebound.
Well, that's the thing about this Georgia team with Stady around the goal. Not many second chance opportunities for their opponents.
Boy, Jordan Isaacs left wide open underneath and lays it in, and Georgia has a 9-7 lead.
You know, Isaac started every game at the 4 spot over the past 2 seasons and does a lot of those little things, knows where to be, understands spacing, and you saw her that last time down, just made herself available for the easy look under the goal.
Anastasia Hayes fouled on the floor. First foul for Georgia. State has just 1 foul. Here's Maya Taylor driving in, defended well by Barker again.
Yeah, that's twice we've seen Barker make good plays on the defensive end. That time just staying in good position, not letting Maya Taylor get past her for the easy look.
Now Barker inside to Stady, hit with a double team. Picked off by Anastasia Hayes. State looking to run. 3-on-4. Numbers not there. Rakia Jackson going to drive it in. And too strong coming down the left side of the lane, and a foul underneath. They're going to go the other way. charge the foul to Jacayla Jordan for Mississippi State. And that will send us to our first media timeout. So midway point of the first quarter. Both teams have shot it well so far.
That's what's up. Kyrie Irving, James Harden coming through in the clutch.
They're like your favorite hooper's favorite hooper.
Steph Curry hitting Clay in the cut. This is the greatest shooting backcourt in NBA history.
It's Saturday primetime. Nets Warriors on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in, with an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options, and with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app, how doers get more done.
She was a mother, she was a coach, she was a leader, she was innovative, was able to get the most out of her players. But I think what they remember the most is not the moments on the floor, but the moments that she was there for them off the floor and the everlasting bond that they continued to have once they were done with their playing career, and that's what I aspire to do.
Well, Pat Summitt spent 38 years as the head coach at Tennessee. Third most wins in NCAA history. He's in the 8 NCAA titles and really got everything rolling in the SEC. And there you see Joni Taylor, you saw in that video just a moment ago. Mississippi native, Meridian, Mississippi native, played collegiately at Alabama, and now in her 7th season as a head coach at Georgia. And Charlie, the thing that Joni Taylor has done is she has just kind of taken that legacy of Andy Landers, of what he built in Athens, and she has continued that.
And I've always been so impressed by the way Joni Taylor has kind of made this her program. It's not always easy to take over when you're an assistant to a legendary coach, a Hall of Fame coach like Andy Landers. But what she's done, she's put the stamp on her program, and she has kept Georgia relevant in women's basketball. And look, she's continued to build upon some early success. She's got some great players coming in next year. Joni Taylor just doing a really good job as the head coach at Georgia.
Well, it has Georgia at 14-3 right now and 3-2 in the SEC. Their only losses in league play came at home against LSU. That was a top 20 matchup. They lost by 6, and then they lost on the road at Kentucky when they lost by 8 points back on January the 6th. Ranked number 13 in the country, off to a good start. And as you see on the score bug, 14-3, 3-2 in the league. And there's Morrison settling up with a jumper just a step inside the free throw line.
Now, one thing about Morrison, cannot afford to leave her open looks. She will knock down many more than she misses when she is left alone.
And a kick ball, and the basketball will stay with Mississippi State. Here's Jordan driving in, got the lane, and just couldn't knock it down. Here's Stady in the lane, partially blocked by Danae Carter. State top 5 in the country as a team in block shots. And the iron is unkind to Anastasia Hayes.
Saw it last time down. Carter again making a nice play for Mississippi State, but again, State allowing Georgia to get a player loose underneath the goal. Isaacs had to be fouled to prevent the basket that time.
The second time that Jordan Isaacs has gotten lost wide open down in the low post. As you see, number 22, Mallory Bates checking in for Georgia. And Isaacs makes the first free throw, a 79% free throw shooter. starter in every game over the last 2 seasons at the power forward position.
Well, you hit on a stat a minute ago, though, Bart. Mississippi State, despite being undersized, despite being shorthanded, 6th in the country in block shots. And give a lot of credit to that to Danae Carter, because even though always outsized, so quick, understands spacing, uses her athleticism.
And this time Isaacs blocks the shot of Jordan. And now Georgia has numbers. And wide open again. Isaacs was wide open and just lost the handle of it that time.
Yeah, it looked like Isaacs was kind of like a receiver looking to run before they make the catch. That time looking to shoot before she had able to capture the basketball.
And Aislinn Hayes going to check in.
But you're right, that's the third time in the ball game rather, that Mississippi State has allowed Isaacs to just camp out underneath the goal and get lost.
Georgia's on a 9-0 run after State took a 7-4 lead. Kia Jackson missed it inside, and a lot of State's misses have been within 15 feet. And Morrison rams home the 3 off the left wing.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Just cannot afford to leave Morrison wide open from 3-point range. She is nearly a 40% shooter from deep. Now, big trip down the floor for Mississippi State, really needing points.
Yeah, ball knocked out of court. Touch last by Mississippi State. Anastasia Hayes trying to manufacture. Nothing was there. And now Georgia will play at the length of the floor, leading by 9.
Key word right there, trying to manufacture. Mississippi State, just 1 assist so far in this basketball game. Everything it looks like, all these shot opportunities coming off the dribble. Not a lot of helping get teammates open for looks.
Count the bucket and the foul as Michaela Coombs down the right side of the lane. Coombs has started in 16 games this year. She had 13 against Bama. And into Danae Carter, who picks up the foul, and now Georgia's on a 14-0 run. Coombs a 72% free throw shooter, and she knocks it down. State hasn't scored in 4.5 minutes. Bulldogs have missed their last 9 shots. Make it 10. Blocked, this time by Isaacs. Here comes Barker. Dumps it inside, the driving layup off with the right hand. Jordan Isaacs got it done on the defensive end and now on the offensive end. And Georgia has pushed the lead out to 21-7.
Well, Bart, think of the players that we've been talking about in this ball game. When you start talking about this Georgia team, you've got experience everywhere. And then you've got Barker, who's been so unselfish here tonight. She's played good control defensively, been in good position, that time leaving it off for the teammate. But Georgia, talk about, you've got a graduate in Stady, you've got a graduate player in Q Morrison. An experienced team, and right now Mississippi State, we talked about that, the block shots. Mississippi State 4th, Georgia 7th. Doing it very different ways. Mississippi State without the size, they're having to use quickness and being in good position defensively.
Aislinn Hayes trying to take the quick 3. Has it partially blocked by Isaac again. Underneath Coombs. Stolen away by Anastasia Hayes. Here comes State running. Didn't have the numbers. Now Aislinn Hayes, she'll take the 3 left wing, and that rattles out. Boy, the Bulldogs just can't buy anything right now.
Yeah, Mississippi State struggling to shoot the basketball right now, under 20%. Meanwhile, the Georgia Bulldogs at 70% shooting it.
State has missed their last 12 shots on a 17-0 Georgia run.
You know, Bart, sometimes you look out there and say, wow, a team has just gone cold. They're struggling to shoot the basketball. But Georgia has really played some tough defense, not allowing Mississippi State open looks.
And Rakia Jackson misses the short shot in the middle. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. It's been dominated by Georgia here in the last 5 minutes. Another offensive rebound. Barker wide open look. And now State comes out of there with it. Anastasia Hayes leaning in. It won't fall. But Georgia can essentially hold it for the final shot. Here's Chapman out top.
I think if you're Georgia here, what you want to do is take a good look. Don't necessarily have to run it all down if you get a good look earlier. That being said, looks like they're going to run this thing inside 10 seconds.
Here's Chloe Chapman driving in. And stuck back in and good. The follow by Mallory Bates. And the heave at the buzzer. It won't fall. And we've played 10 minutes of basketball in Starkville. And Georgia with a 16-point lead and on a 19-0 run. State hasn't scored in 7 minutes. It has been all Georgia Bulldogs so far.
Ready to experience new career growth and the joy of helping others? As the #1 brand in property damage restoration, ServPro is dedicated to restoring hope to those who need it most. And we need you to join our team. We have thousands of jobs available with premium compensation and the opportunity to move into management and even ownership, and access to the best training available. No industry experience required. Visit ServProCareers.com to see how we take care of people who take care of people.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in, with an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options, and with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Well, back in Starkville, we go to the second quarter. Georgia went on a 19-0 run over the last 7 minutes of the first quarter. And Charlotte, they got it done offensively, they got it done defensively, got it done from the outside, from the inside. It was all Georgia in that first quarter.
Yeah, you can't imagine that Joni Taylor had a lot to complain about between quarters, because Georgia shooting the ball well, just getting things done, creating good spacing, attacking the goal, just about everything going right for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, you want to see a crazy stat from the first quarter? State did not turn it over one single time. No turnovers for State, 7 for Georgia. But Georgia out-rebounded Mississippi State 20-3 in the first quarter. Stady, the turning jumper in the lane, and it's 25-7. Well, we talked early on about how State could play with against a big front line, and right now Georgia making shots and getting all the rebounds. As there you see Bates going for the loose ball. You got Bates in there, you've got Isaacs, who's played well. And Rakia Jackson forcing a shot.
Well, as a coaching staff right now for Mississippi State, you start to look out on the floor and try to at least see where your effort is coming from. And for Mississippi State, you see Danae Carter playing with a lot of effort, getting on the floor, going after loose balls. You mentioned the Bulldogs with only a handful of rebounds. Carter has the bulk of those.
And this time, a foul on Bates as she tried to reach around and tip the ball free.
See Georgia defensively just keeping everything in front, not allowing Mississippi State any clear pass to the goal, doing a great job in help defense as well.
And Chapman got out, running the floor well, lays it in. State just 3 for 22 from the field, shooting just 14%.
Chapman's been such a dependable backup at point guard for Georgia. Not a lot of drop off when she comes in. Stady, meanwhile, with her 6th rebound for Georgia. She's got 6. Bates has 7.
And a jumper from the right elbow. And it's a 25-0 run. My goodness. And now the driving shot by Anastasia Hayes. State went 9.5 minutes without a bucket.
Well, you start to say if you're Mississippi State, how do you get back on track? Look, Anastasia Hayes, one of the most talented players on Mississippi State's team, and particularly skilled at creating off the dribble. And one of the ways you're going to have to do it is to get the ball in her hands.
And the ball comes right to Q Morrison, who lays it in with a second chance point.
Well, that's a situation there. Morrison just understanding where to be and when to be there. That's that veteran play out of Morrison.
And Anastasia Hayes moved to the bucket. Second chance again for Bates, and she puts it up with the left hand. And Doug Novak wants to spend a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. 6:28 to go in the second quarter. Georgia has outscored Mississippi State 10-2 here in the second and pushes the lead out to 33-9.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers. Or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
6:28 to go in the second quarter. 33-9. Georgia on a 29-2 run. Jenna Stady, Charlie, we talked about her coming in. 6 points so far, 6 rebounds for Stady down in the low post, but it hasn't just been Stady.
No, it's been all up and down the stat sheet for Georgia. And I think they've had good spacing, they have had open looks, and they have just attacked the glass. They are out rebounding Mississippi State 26-5. 7 offensive rebounds have led to 11 second chance points for Georgia. And again, the thing that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, just so impressive on the defensive end.
Charlotte Cole has checked in, native of Germany. Maya Taylor Sets up, knocks down the shot.
You know, Georgia gave way that time, expecting Taylor to unload the basketball, and got a little look, knocked it down. One of the few times tonight a Mississippi State shooter has had any breathing room.
And the curl around the left side, and Reagan Richardson knocks down the shot.
Well, that's a tough shot, not one that you necessarily want to see coming off the dribble like that, but Richardson just made it look easy.
Here's Danae Carter stepping through the lane.
And once again, one and done for Mississippi State.
Wide open look, right side, and knocked down the three. Good by Reagan Richardson.
That's 2 trips down the floor, 2 baskets for Richardson. That one a 3-pointer, so 5 in a hurry for her.
Driving with a layup, Maya Taylor gets the bucket.
Well, if Maya Taylor is good at attacking the rim, especially so from that left side, she likes to use that left hand to attack.
Richardson left open that time. Couldn't get that one to fall.
Bulldogs just really struggling to find anything in transition.
And Maya Taylor knocks down a 3 from the left side. She has 7.
Nice job by Mississippi State that time, not forcing it. Hayes keeping her eyes up. Couldn't find anything in transition on the initial break, but able to kick it out to Taylor for the open look.
Got it to the low post. The left-handed layup is good for Nicholson. Nicholson missed the Missouri game.
And Mississippi State will have to get Danae Carter out of the basketball game. That's her 3rd personal foul.
And now the and one for Nicholson, the junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Here's Maya Taylor. Driving with the left hand, and Maya Taylor quickly driving up her point total. She has 9. And Smith with a jumper.
Well, how about the job by Stady that time? She was underneath the goal, turned, found Charlotte cold there, didn't want to try to attack against her, kicks it out, and Smith knocks down the open shot.
It's Alicia Smith, her first points. Kia Jackson, and that jumper is good.
And all of a sudden, Mississippi State finding a little rhythm offensively. Able to attack the basket a couple of times and has given themselves a little bit more room for some open looks from the mid-range.
It's 5 points for Rakia Jackson. Lob it inside. Morrison. There's Charlotte Cole snatching the rebound. Anastasia Hayes cut off. And the foul on Georgia, their second here in the second quarter, as Morrison going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, Hayes that time saw Morrison backing up a little bit, just got into her and able to pick up the foul. So Bulldogs of Mississippi State starting to find a little more life offensively.
And a 5-second violation.
5-second violation. Possession, Georgia.
That goes back to Georgia, just so good defensively. Been really impressed by the job that they have done on the defensive end.
Chapman with a jumper. And Rakia Jackson had it blocked from behind, got that one to go, and she's fouled. Well, Rakia Jackson had the shot. See that one blocked from behind by Jordan Isaacs. And Smith picked up the foul. Free throw missed by Rakia Jackson. 20-point game. Georgia's led by as many as 27, 38-11. Drive to the bucket, foul underneath, and that will go the other way. Smith with back-to-back fouls, fighting with Rakia Jackson for the rebound.
And Bart, I think you'd have to say that since Charlotte Cole came in the ball game, Mississippi State's really picked up the intensity. Doug Novak used that timeout to change the lineup, and since then the Bulldogs played with much more effort, a lot better spacing.
And Hayes has it blocked. Here comes Georgia running. Dump it down to Isaacs, but a charge. Yeah, State will now play it.
They'll charge that to Parker. That'll be her first.
State has definitely defended better over the last 6-7 minutes, especially in the low post.
And Georgia led it 38-11, and since that timeout at that spot, Mississippi State starting to pick things up.
And Rakia Jackson with a bucket. That's her 7th. That's down to 18. If you're just joining us, down to 18 means a lot. It was up at 27 at one time. High-low feed inside. And standing on the baseline, Isaacs turns it over.
You know, one of the great arts of coaching is understanding when to use your timeouts, how to use them, how to juggle your lineup when things aren't going well. And Mississippi State's found an extra gear here as of late.
And Rakia Jackson off the mark with a jumper. Georgia hasn't scored in over 3 minutes.
Big possession right here. Georgia would love to push this thing back up over 20. Such a psychological hurdle to be down by 20 at the half.
Nice defense again by State, but Barker cleans it up and lays it in.
Well, what a hustle play by Barker that time. Just, again, we talk about it so often. Georgia understanding spacing, understanding where to be. Another offensive rebound, another second chance point.
And Hayes has it blocked from behind.
So just under 8 seconds to go in the half. Mississippi State will get to run an inbounds play, see if they can maybe use a screen, create an open look.
Katarian Thompson. Floater won't go for the baseline. The heave by Barker, and we go to the dressing rooms. Well, Mississippi State, a little bit of a flurry at the end of the first half. Georgia pushed out the lead to 27. Scored 10 of the first 12 points in the second quarter. And we go to the locker room. Georgia leading by an even 20, 44-24. As the Georgia Dogs here on the tail end of playing 4 out of 5 on the road. They've won 3.
Hulu has live TV? Hulu has live sports?
They do.
Hulu has live news?
That is correct. And Hulu also has
Live talent show.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Flip like cable, stream like Hulu. Time to have Hulu plus live TV. Is your bathroom stuck in an endless cycle of flush, stink, repeat? Ew. Better get Febreze Small Spaces. Press firmly to activate. And unlike the leading cone, Small Spaces continuously eliminates odors, preventing that endless odor cycle for up to 45 days. That's freshness you'll want in every small room. Closets? Yep. Kids' rooms? Good idea. Even when her bathroom is also your laundry room. Prevent odors with Febreze Small Spaces. Febreze, la 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 la.
Time is precious. Even great moments are fleeting. And ornaments accumulated during a lifetime of success declare what you did. They don't explain how or why. When trophies gather dust and records are broken, who will speak for you? What will they say?
The thing about my mom, no matter how busy she was, she always made time for me.
Wow, integrity. That is her. That word sums up Pat.
She was always kind and courteous and polite to everyone.
Did you get everybody's signature?
Yep, all from the championship team.
That's great. Okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? All right.
See y'all tomorrow night.
Talent didn't mean a lot to her. It was just how hard you worked.
Did you hear? Well, then you got to get out there.
She was able to coach her players the way that she did because she loved them.
The coach with the most victories won with people. And when you talk with those she loved in the wake of her passing from Alzheimer's disease, there is no mention of her trophies or titles.
Oh, man. Can't really put words into how you feel.
The grief for me hits at really strange times. My grief, I try to channel it into what she would want me to do. Getting these kids ready for games, getting these kids ready for life.
I don't care. That's the way to attack. I love how you're attacking. I love it.
It motivates me to work hard, be the best I can be, and continue living life to its fullest.
Situations will come up and I'll say, I wish Pat was here. And then I have to look in the mirror and I have to say, part of her is still here because she's in me.
My mom told me that she wanted to give people courage when they were diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Tyler and I made a decision to fight and to fight publicly. We couldn't change my diagnosis, but we could try to do something positive with it.
For me, my motivation, I want to be a part of the cure.
I learned so much from her that now I feel obligated to pass that on to other people.
The things that she taught me now are being passed on to my daughter.
My legacy and what I'm going to leave even beyond my years is part of Pat's legacy.
Pat once said, I won 1,098 games, 8 national championships, and coached in 4 decades. But what I see are not the numbers. I see their faces. Through them, everything Pat Summitt stood for will carry on, because people are the true measure of her life's work.
Pat Summitt, 38 seasons as Tennessee's head coach. You see that, nearly 1,100 wins and those 8 national titles. And it just seemed like every year you could count on Tennessee to be in the Final Four, if not winning it all.
Yeah, and made women's basketball important. I mean, really did a great job. You start thinking about, Pat Summitt, a Leon Barmore at Louisiana Tech, and, Tara Vanderveer over at Stanford, Andy Landers at Georgia, and start looking around the country. But hey, she laid the foundation work in the SEC. And so that time of year that we back Pat, and here at the half, Georgia built out the early lead, 44, and lead it by 20 at the half, 44-24. We'll come back and take a look at the halftime stats, have the highlights, all the big plays, much, much more. Charlie Winfield will give us a thought or two. What the Dogs of State need to do.
Juliana Pena looking to spin this MMA World on its axis.
This crowd ready to celebrate.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot is here to help. With job site delivery to keep you on site and on schedule, and equipment rentals to make sure you can take on any job. Plus, when you join Pro Extra, you'll earn perks on every dollar you spend. Earn perks 4 times faster when you join. Register and use your Pro Extra credit card. New tech, new tools, new ways to grow your business, all at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Well, halftime at Starkville, 44-24. Georgia out of the gate took a 23-7 lead after the first quarter, and then outscored State 21-17 in the second quarter. A 20-point lead for Georgia. And let's take a look at the highlights of the first half. Lady Bulldogs of Georgia fell behind early at 7-4, and then Charlie just went on a monumental run.
Well, they certainly did. And Hugh Morrison had a lot to do with that. She was able to knock down a number of shots in the mid-range and had 10 points in that first half.
Georgia went on a 29-2 run to expand the lead to 38-11, led by as many as 27. Stady had 6 points in the first half and 13 minutes of play. And then Mississippi State kind of settled down a little bit in the second quarter, and it all started, Charlie, with Maya Taylor.
Yeah, Bulldogs of Mississippi State just 3 of 19 shooting in the first quarter, but in the second quarter raised their average, went 8 of 19, 42%, and Maya Taylor had a lot to do with that, as you say. And I thought it started with her attacking the goal and all of a sudden started to open things up a little bit, and then Rakia Jackson got involved for Mississippi State and started to have a little more success going on the attack.
Yeah, Rakia Jackson finished with 9 points in the first half of play. Maya Taylor also had 9. Look at the team statistics as Georgia shot 55%, 18 of 33. You see State 11 of 38. That's 29%. 3-ball. Neither team shot it a lot in the first half. Look at that rebounding margin for Georgia. They out-rebounded State 20-3 in the first quarter. So it was a little bit tighter there in the second quarter. 6-3 for the Lady Bulldogs of Georgia in the blocks. And you look at the points in the paint at 22-14. And so, Charlie, when you look at this second half and you start talking about guarding Jenna Stady, I thought State did a much better job in the second quarter defending Georgia along that front line.
No, I thought they did as well. And what's surprising about that a little bit is the fact that Danae Carter missed so much of that second quarter in foul trouble. She picked up her 3rd foul early. Bulldogs went to the bench, brought in Charlotte Cole, and got 7 really good minutes out of her in that second quarter play. And I thought she, although didn't score, had 1 rebound, I thought she did a lot to help alter some shots and give the Bulldogs a little bit more intensity on the defensive end.
Well, we get ready for the second half. Georgia, as we said, in the stretch right now, playing 4 out of 5 on the road in the SEC. They opened their league play up at home with a loss against LSU, and then you knew you had 4 out of 5 on the road, and you knew it was going to be tough if you're Joni Taylor. But a win at Florida, then a loss at Kentucky, a win against Bama at home, a win at Missouri, and now Mississippi State. They'll be back at home on Sunday against Tennessee. 3 of the next 4 in the Stegman Coliseum over in Athens. Mississippi State, they'll be on the road on Sunday at Arkansas. But 3 of the next 4 for State are at home. They'll play Missouri and Texas A&M later in the month here in the friendly confines of Humphrey Coliseum. Underway here in the second half. Maya Taylor out on the floor. Now Anastasia Hayes. settling with a jumper, left it too long, and Barker with a rebound for Georgia.
I thought Barker had quietly had a really good first half for Georgia. 4 points, 4 rebounds in the half. Picked up her 5th rebound right there, but I thought did a great job with things like that. Drawing defenders, getting players in a position to score themselves.
And now Barker with a jumper. And State chases down the rebound offside with Anastasia Hayes. Rakia Jackson in the lane, little floater drops through. And Rakia Jackson, the first State player in double figures, she has 11.
Well, how many times you hear it said that the first 5 minutes of the second half, among the most important minutes of the game. If Mississippi State wants to make this a contest, going to have to defend, get some rebounds, and then find a way to score themselves.
And now Rakia Jackson driving with the left hand. Stady and Danae Carter hit the floor. Stady slow getting up, but she's up and getting down to the offensive end. When all of a sudden, State with the first 4 points of the second half, it's down to a 16-point game.
Yeah, you've got to have that mentality, not trying to chase all 16 points, but can we cut it to 12? Can we cut it to 10? Can you do those things? And if, you know, that's what Doug Novak preaching to his team. Don't try to do it all in one possession.
And now Maya Taylor, too strong. Danae Carter got the rebound. Leaning in, off the glass, count the bucket and the foul. The freshman Danae Carter, one-on-one with Jenna Stady off the right block.
Well, sometimes you talk about having a disadvantage by being undersized. That time, though, you see Danae Carter kind of working around to the right side. Kind of used her lack of size to her advantage, got Stady committed, then got into her to draw the foul and then get the basket to go.
And now Carter, a free throw to come. 51% free throw shooter on the season, misses wide right. State is 0 for 2 at the free throw line tonight. Only 2 trips to the line. Georgia 6 of 7. And now the steal by Anastasia Hayes. Trying to get out in front, lays it in. And all of a sudden, it's a 12-point game as State starts the second half on an 8-0 run. Georgia led 44-24 at the half. It's 44-32, and a timeout on the floor, and we'll take it with them. So 2 minutes deep in the second half, and this one's kind of changed just a little bit as Georgia led big early on, and now Mississippi State has got.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in. With an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options. And with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
44-32, Mississippi State's crawl back within 12 after Georgia has led by as many as 27, but Rakia Jackson beginning to get going, Charlie.
Yeah, Bulldogs of Mississippi State outscoring the Georgia Bulldogs 8-0 here in the first couple of minutes of this second half. Rakia Jackson, 4 of Mississippi State's 8.
13 points now for Rakia Jackson. Shooting percentage isn't great, but hey, she started out just like 1 for 9. Shot it much better in the second quarter, and now the start of the third. Now, you think Georgia's going to go inside on this first trip after the timeout?
Well, they have been really good attacking around the goal and getting in the lane, but Danae Carter able to bust up the pass to the interior.
And a foul as Anastasia Hayes takes it into the lane. And it was almost like, you could tell that was almost like a force by Barker to try to get it into the low post, because you kind of have to feel that in the huddle that Joni Taylor was talking about. Here you see Joni Taylor talking to Barker. Hey, we're going to work it inside, and it just wasn't there. Here's Jackson off the curl. Threw up the air ball. Two and a half deep here in the third quarter. I'm Bart Gregory along with Charlie Winfield. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us here at Starkville on a Thursday night at Humphrey Coliseum. Cut to the bucket. Morrison got free. Missed the shot. Danae Carter with a rebound. And Danae Carter, the freshman, beginning to get a little bit more loose and relaxed down in the low.
You see Jacayla Jordan handling the basketball for Mississippi State. State's going to have to find a way to get her going. No points, but Rakia Jackson staying hot here in the second half.
And the lead is now single digits for Georgia as State starts the third quarter on an 11-0 run. Spinning shot won't go. Anastasia Hayes running the floor. Lays it in, and it's a 7-point game. Oh, my goodness.
Well, basketball's a game of runs, but the runs tonight have been dramatic.
State scored the first 13 now of the second half. Georgia went on a 29-2 run in the first half. State went a full 10 minutes without scoring. From the 7-minute mark of the first quarter to the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. And there's your first points in the second half as Q Morrison off the drive coming down the right side of the lane.
Well, sometimes when you need a basket, you just find your veteran leader, and that's Q Morrison for Georgia.
And now Rakia Jackson, 15-footer. Boy, she's getting hot now. That's 18 for Rakia Jackson.
Well, you saw that time. Wanted to try to go backdoor, couldn't find her teammate, and then able to connect in the mid-range. But I like the way that she looked to pass first, didn't have it, then took the shot.
And back to a 7-point game now. Here's Coleman. Laid up, too strong. And Danae Carter with a rebound. Maya Taylor, nowhere to go. Jacayla Jordan up and under, got the bucket and the foul.
What an adjustment by Jordan that time. Looked like she was pinned underneath the goal, had nowhere to go with the basketball. See, Maya Taylor makes the bounce pass, and then a really tough job to try to get some room to get back out from underneath the basket and score it.
And the first bucket of the night for Jacayla Jordan, the transfer from Tulane. Bates picked up the foul for Georgia. That's her second. And we got a 4-point game. Oh, my goodness. State on an 18-2 run to start the second half.
I can't think of a game that's had runs like this.
And now Morrison with the answer. And Danae Carter with a rebound. Oh, and Anastasia Hayes trying to force it a little bit to Danae Carter that time. And here comes Coombs running. Off the glass with the left hand, and a big shot by Michaela Coombs. And that'll push the lead back to 6 and send us to immediate timeout. So Georgia led by 20 at the half, but the big run by State here in the third quarter. Now it's anybody's game, and Georgia will be at the free throw line with Coombs trying to make it a 7-point lead when we come back.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers. Or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
48-42, Georgia leading by 6, and Georgia will be at the free throw line with Michaela Coombs coming back, but State on an 18-2 run to start the third quarter. Charlie, Rakia Jackson really gotten it going.
Well, certainly got hot. She's got 18 in the game. 9 of those have come in the past 5 minutes as Rakia Jackson getting things going for Mississippi State. Here in this second half, Anastasia Hayes pitching in as well. But you see Rakia look to pass, didn't have anything, and creates a shot for herself in the mid-range.
And Coombs misses the free throw, but Stady right there, and she misses the shot. But got her own rebound, and Georgia will reset with a 6-point lead. That's the 11th offensive rebound for Georgia. And Jerkayla Jordan reaching in and tying up Coombs. Possession arrow stays with Georgia. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Just over 4 to go here in the third. Into Stady. And the rebound, Jerkayla Jordan.
Yeah, nice job that time by Jerkayla Jordan. Not playing out of control. Allowing Mississippi State to set up their offense.
Carter, crossover, left hand, left it short. Rakia Jackson got it back, stuck it in, and scored it. And that's 20 for Rakia Jackson.
And that's about as aggressive as you can be going to the offensive glass that time. Bulldogs, not a lot of second chance looks today, but Rakia Jackson just attacking the glass.
Stady tried to answer, stayed with a rebound. Anastasia Hayes. Bulldogs have got it back to a 4-point game. And Maya Taylor travel with it. Shuffle the feet before she put it on the floor.
Q Morrison defending that time, and it's going to be interesting to watch as this second half unfolds, whether they try to put her on Anastasia Hayes, just kind of lock down, take her out defensively. We saw Georgia do that a few times in the first half. That time switching defensively.
Morrison out top. Here's Coombs. Try to get to the baseline, and a reach-in foul on Jerkayla Jordan. And that's her second foul.
Only one player in the ball game with as many as 3, and that's Danae Carter from Mississippi State. No other player has more than 2 for either team.
Coombs, little floater inside the free throw line, right on top of the SEC logo.
One thing about going on a run, it takes a lot of energy, and so you see teams so many times get close to getting back in a ball game, get close to tying it up, but then unable to sustain the energy. So Mississippi State, kind of a big 2 minutes here in this third quarter, try to close up the rest of that gap.
Jordan off the glass, went one-on-one with Stady, and is back to a 4-point game.
Tell you one thing I'd like to see Stady do for Georgia. I'd like to see her commit more fouls. Just one foul here. I'd see her take some chances, be a little more aggressive defensively.
This time ball poked free by Stady and kept alive by Georgia, and Morrison will reset the offense for Georgia. And here is Stady in the lane. Got another offensive rebound.
Well, nice job by Stady that time. First, she got the interior pass, had a nice touchback out for a mid-range shot, and keeping it alive with a rebound.
And the jumper too long, and Georgia another offensive board. And a lengthy offensive possession for the Georgia Lady Bulldogs. Three offensive rebounds in this possession.
Isaac, Stady, and Coombs all with offensive rebounds.
And Stady knocks down the jumper and pushes the lead back to 6. And that for Jen Stady, her 8th point.
Now, just a great job of getting on the offensive glass by Georgia. And all that work pays off.
Maya Taylor for 3. Danae Carter with a rebound. Nowhere to go underneath. Back outside. Rakia Jackson with a step back. And now Georgia can hold it for the final shot of the third quarter. Leading by 6. They led by 20 at the half. State has outscored Georgia 22-8 here in the third. Coombs, little floater, and banks it in, coming down the middle of the lane, and Georgia pushes the lead back to 8 as we move to the fourth quarter. Well, it was all Georgia to start, but Mississippi State has made it anybody's game. Bulldogs failed to score over the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Georgia pushes the lead back to 8. It's 54-46 Georgia as we move to the fourth.
This place is going to be rocking.
I just came back for the win.
We're faster. We're stronger.
Success is the best revenge. Better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war. I see the house and I'm up in the score. I just came back for the win. They say success is the best revenge.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers. Or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
State has the big third quarter, and it's Georgia by 8 as we go to the fourth. Charlie, if you'd have told me midway through the first quarter we'd have an 8-point game going the fourth quarter, I would not have believed you.
No, absolutely not. But Mississippi State picked it up on the defensive end, and then Rakia Jackson just got hot to some degree, helped shoot them back in this basketball game. 5 of 7 from the field, and then you saw contributions elsewhere. Anastasia Hayes with some nice plays, and then you saw Jacayla Jordan doing a nice job taking a pass, creating a shot for herself, and that third quarter went the way of Mississippi State.
Yeah, Bulldogs State hit just 3 of their first 21 shots, and since that time, 18 of 33 over the last 2 quarters. And to start the fourth, Rakia Jackson on the back cut, and the and one opportunity.
Set play that time. Maya Taylor does a great job taking it to the right side and weaving it back for Rakia Jackson, attacking the goal. The big points right there for Mississippi State to start the fourth quarter. Cannot afford to let Georgia just come out and get hot and run away from them.
Chapman out top. Well, nice move up and under, missed the shot. Danae Carter with a rebound. That's 8 rebounds for Danae Carter.
That's a great move by Chapman, just couldn't get the shot to go.
And Rakia Jackson, floating shot coming down the right side, missed it. Loose on the floor, Carter got it to Anastasia Hayes. And a hustle play by State. Rakia Jackson now with 23 points with that old-fashioned three-point play to start the fourth. Anastasia Hayes in the lane, little floater underneath, freed herself, and now it's a three-point game.
Well, Georgia defended so well all the way down to about 5 seconds on the shot clock and just lost the ball handler.
And the jumper falls from the left wing from Bates.
Yeah, Bates got the kind iron that time, and
Six points for Mallory Bates. Anastasia Hayes just weaving and weaving and weaving, and finally found a little space. And Anastasia Hayes is coming alive. 12 points for Anastasia Hayes.
It just takes so much effort to dig yourself out of a hole the way Mississippi State did, but showing no signs of letting up so far.
And Q Morrison taking the jumper from the free throw line, and the offensive rebound from Stady. And the pass too tall, looking inside for Bates, and the high-low feed is thrown away.
Stady's a nice passer, but that time just put a little too much on it. And as amazing as it sounds to say this, Mississippi State could conceivably tie it up on this possession.
Stady trying to send it in. Well, Stady's been around the game for a while. Graduate. Started her career at Maryland. Three-point game, State with the ball. And a left-handed little floater for Maya Taylor, and we got a one-point game.
Yeah, Maya Taylor is so good working with that left hand. And let's see, if you're Georgia right here, you really want the ball in the hands of Q Morrison.
Georgia led 38-11. Rattles around, an offensive rebound for Georgia.
Sixteenth offensive rebound of this basketball game for the Georgia Bulldogs.
And now Morrison weaves her way through and left it short. State can now take the lead on a trip down the floor. Crowd coming alive here at Humphrey Coliseum. Maya Taylor left it short, trying to draw the foul. Chapman to Coombs, and Georgia runs the floor extremely well, and the lead is back to 3.
Chapman really good with the ball in her hand. She can get down the floor in a hurry, and Mississippi State just unable to cut her off, and as she was able to get down the floor, had teammates running with her.
Katarian Thompson cut off. 6 on the shot clock. Maya Taylor saw a little seam, left-handed layup won't go. And now Georgia slowly up the floor with Coombs. Charlie, you talked a minute ago about you have so much taken out of you to climb up the mountain, and so many times it's tough for teams just to get over that hump. State got it to a one-point game just a minute ago. And now a reach-in foul on Anastasia Hayes.
And so you start to look and say, what are some of the signs of doing that? You start to reach a little bit more. You start to leave some shots on short. Always do as good a job of getting back defensively. It's just so tough to maintain that energy.
Midway point of the fourth quarter. Here's Nicholson, guarded by Danae Carter. Got the return pass. Nicholson had it blocked by Rakia Jackson, and a 30-second shot clock violation. So a timeout on the floor as Rakia Jackson pins down the shot. And down the stretch they come with 4:45 to go. Georgia leading by 3 here in Humphrey Coliseum.
We outworked you. And then when the chance came, we outwilled you. I just had that mindset right from the beginning.
They set me beside Tom Brady's locker. I want to know what he knows.
We are not finished. Ain't nothing like having Tom Brady. We would go at each other with 2x4s.
The expectation was to win every game.
We can do better than that.
He had one goal in mind. Go and win Super Bowls.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers. Or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Georgia leading by 3 over Mississippi State. Statewide, the basketball coming out of the timeout. I'm Bart Gregory along with Charlie Winfield. And, well, you talk about 2 completely different games that we've seen here tonight. You see Rakia Jackson now 19 games with over 20 points. 12 games against SEC opponents over the 20. She has 23 tonight. And, Charlie, you talk about completely different games from what we saw in the first quarter and the second, halfway through the second quarter to what we're seeing now.
Yeah, first 15 minutes, this game was not competitive. And all of a sudden, Mississippi State, which didn't seem to be able to do anything right, has fought themselves within a possession.
Jacayla Jordan left the 3 short. And now loose on the floor. And Georgia comes out of there with it.
Boy, look at Danae Carter getting on the floor again, playing with. We talked about earlier this ball game, Mississippi State needed somebody to play with effort. Danae Carter has brought that for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State.
And Nicholson that time for Georgia got on the floor well. And here's Nicholson with the left hand down in the low post, and the lead is 5.
Yeah, good job of Nicholson that time, establishing position down at the low block, got the nice feed, and just powered her way up.
Cleared out. Anastasia Hayes will go to the free throw line. Well, you saw Doug Novak. He was like an air traffic controller over there. He was pointing for Jacayla Jordan to come to the corner. He was backing up another player, and he was trying to free the left side of the lane, and he did for Anastasia Hayes. There you see Doug Novak. And Hayes with a couple free throws, and she hits the first. 70% free throw shooter this season. 66% over her career. And she got them both. Back to a 3-point game.
Playing Q Morrison off the ball, trying to find a way to get it to her, maybe coming off a screen.
Here's Barker. Trying to look to the low post. Saved it into Bates. Ball tip free. State comes up with a steal. Maya Taylor didn't have the numbers.
Yeah, Mississippi State just didn't have the spacing that they needed that time to be able to go on the attack and wisely pull it back out. Here's Maya Taylor. Back to the corner.
5 on the shot clock. To Rakia Jackson, the floater's good. Back to a 1-point game. 25 for Rakia Jackson.
Well, the fans who didn't walk out about 15 minutes into this basketball game have been treated by one that's going to go down to the wire after the Mississippi State is just dug out of a hole.
And a foul away from the basketball. Anastasia Hayes with a hold. You see Joni Taylor. Well, Georgia came out playing as hot and well as they could play. And State, to be honest with you, probably came out as flat and as bad as you could play. And now Chapman fouled on the inbound. And Georgia will go to the free throw line and shoot free throws. And Charlie, we talked about State, about how you got to climb the mountain. You're down by as many as 27 at one time, but you kind of wonder what that's like for Georgia too. They kind of lost their edge midway through that second quarter.
And now Chapman will go to the line. He's only been there twice all season.
And a big free throw for Chloe Chapman. Had 10 points earlier this year against Notre Dame. Hits a couple free throws, the lead back at 3. Nearing the 2-minute mark to go here in the fourth. Anastasia Hayes got the screen set by Danae Carter.
That was an absolutely outstanding job by Danae Carter. Just set a little back screen that time. Gave Hayes a path to the basket.
Back to a 1-point game. State has cut it to 1 now 3 times, but Georgia has answered the previous 2. Here's Q Morrison. Had the ball knocked free, and Anastasia Hayes will slow things down. And now the throwaway, picked off by Chapman to Barker, and now Georgia turns it over with numbers. And now State wants to spend a timeout. Well, both teams turning it over. Barker tried that extra pass. She probably had as good a chance as anybody to just lay it in.
Yeah, tried to be unselfish that time, but sometimes you just got to go on the attack. I think that was one of those times. And boy, Mississippi State, meanwhile, kind of bailed out by that turnover because they had it with a chance to take the lead and just had it kind of tapped away in an easy turnover, what should have been an easy look for Georgia.
Charlie, if you start thinking back to Mississippi State, and somewhat of their downfall at times this year has been relying a lot on the three-point shot. State has taken just 9 tonight and made 3 of those 9. You're seeing a team over the last week or so, or 2 weeks, that's gotten a lot more done off the dribble drive than settling for outside shots.
Well, the other thing Mississippi State has done, they have dramatically turned around the points in the paint statistic here. Now outscoring Georgia in the paint 42-34. And Georgia just owned the paint early. And it highlights what you just said, Bart. You know, Mississippi State, when they get points in the paint, it's off the dribble drive. It's not setting up a feed inside to the post. But there you see it for Mississippi State. Rakia Jackson, 25 points. All but 9 of those coming here in the second half.
State has 27 field goals and only 8 assists tonight. So much has come off the dribble drive. 1-point game with 1:10 to go. Maya Taylor. Now Jerkayla Jordan. Shot clock at 10. Jordan leans in, too strong, got her own rebound. And now a foul underneath. Or no foul. State will play it with 57 seconds to go.
I'm going to say maybe Barker touched it while her feet were on the inline.
$19 on the shot clock, 57 on the game clock. And now timeout taken by Mississippi State. Just before the 5-second call, Doug Novak spins a timeout.
Well, and that's going to do it for timeouts for Mississippi State. So they'll have to play this final 56.9 without being able to come to the bench to talk one over. Another thing that brings up, if you get into a situation where you want to be able to advance the ball into the front court, you can't do that.
Yeah, of course, in a women's game, you can call timeout and advance it to half court like you do in the NBA. And to be honest with you, Charlie, that's probably where it may play into it more than anything, especially if you need a possession with, say, 3 or 4 seconds late in the game.
Hey, you see Mississippi State's coaching staff trying to get the word to their players that you're out of timeouts. They were having a discussion at the scorer's table trying to decide if they had one more.
And so State is out of timeouts. Georgia's got plenty.
Yeah, still 3 for Georgia to work with. So now, no way to bail yourself out. If you can't get it inbounds, you're just going to have to maybe try to throw something into the backcourt. If you can't get a play, give yourself a good look.
Into Jackson. And State has a lead.
Well, you'd like to get the look coming off the inbounds if you're Mississippi State, and they got it to Jackson. Nothing fancy. She just takes a little bounce pass, elevates, knocks down the shot. And Mississippi State not dead yet. They lead it by 1, 53.9 to go.
And the officials sent the teams to the bench areas, and I think that this has to do with the clock. Trying to make sure the right amount of time went off. Well, we thought we were about to get information, and now Georgia's going to spin a timeout. So it'll be a full timeout taken by Joni Taylor. And so, yeah, they're going to change the game clock to 55.3. And so Charlie, State has come all the way back. This is the first lead since it was 7-4. Or 7-6 after that next possession. So it's been a long time, and Georgia went on that 29-2 run, led 38-11, led by 27. Georgia led by 20 at the half.
And then Mississippi State outscores Georgia 22-10 in the third and 17-8 so far here in the fourth. So just 18 second half points for Georgia through the first 19 plus minutes of the second half. Neither
so
team
with that
in the bonus right now either, Bart.
Yeah, neither team in the bonus. And this is what we were talking about a moment ago, of course. You can advance the ball after a timeout, and that's what Georgia is doing. As you can play at front court, side court. Morrison out top. Here's Barker, guarded by Rakia Jackson. To Coombs. Jump shot, got it. Coombs from the left baseline. Michaela Coombs gives Georgia the lead back. Here's Anastasia Hayes. Off the drive, got the ball on her hip. Here's Danae Carter, had an open look, passed it up, now leans in, missed the shot. State's with the rebound. Stady got the rebound, and now a foul on Rakia Jackson. And that is the fourth team foul on State. So Georgia got the stop they were looking for.
And Mississippi State got the ball down low, but Carter just didn't realize how open she was and then had to take the contested shot.
And now Joni Taylor wants to take another timeout for Georgia.
We have a timeout on the floor.
And they will advance it one more time. So Charlie, that last time out, Georgia down by 1. Kind of interesting they got it to Coombs on the outside, but give her credit. Boy, she knocked it down.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see that ball leave the hands of Q Morrison. But give credit to Morrison, trusting her teammate, Coombs. She's had a nice ball game here tonight for Georgia. She's 6 out of 9 from the field, 13 points. And now, if you're Mississippi State, you start to think about who is it that we want to foul, and go all the way up and down this Georgia lineup, and they all shoot free throws well.
Into Morrison. Got a foul in a hurry if you're State, and Anastasia Hayes with the foul of Morrison. And that's the 5th team foul on State. And of course, there's no 1-and-1 in the women's game. 2 free throws coming now for Morrison.
And Morrison, a 90% free throw shooter. She's been there 3 times, fouled on a 3-point shot early in the ball game, made all 3.
And got the first.
Well, a situation here for Mississippi State where you cannot afford a miss and an offensive rebound.
And Morrison got them both. It's a 3-point game. 10.3 to go. Here we go. Rakia Jackson, step back, 3 for the tie. Throws up the air ball. Georgia with a rebound, and Georgia's going to win it on the road tonight, 66-63. Joni Taylor and the Georgia Bulldogs go to 4-2 in the SEC and 15-3 overall. But Charlie Winfield, my goodness, crazy way to start it. Georgia had everything rolling. State got back in it, actually took a lead, and then Georgia with the big win on the road.
Well, and look for Georgia. This was going to be an easy one about 15 minutes in, but Mississippi State really found themselves play with a lot of effort and make it as tight as it can be down the stretch.
So for Charlie Winfield, I'm Bart Gregory saying so long from Humphrey Coliseum, where Georgia beats Mississippi State 66-63. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.